I can hardly see, but does anybody have any questions they want to open up to the floor or that they don't want to ask me later? Yes. Unfortunately, I'm out of here early in the morning. I'm getting ready for the book tour from hell. I have to go on the road for an entire month, and that's an airplane ride every day. So I'm out of here bright and early. Otherwise, I would love to. Hey, Julie, who I'm stealing, got me a car. Woo! Any other questions? Someone yell it if I don't see you. Yes, I see you. I am back playing EverQuest. How's that? I went to Dark Age of Camelot. Had a great time. I'm not a PvPer. I suck. As my two sons, who had their computers in my office when they were home from college break, reminded me continually, you suck. I went to WoW. I played WoW and as soon as I started playing WoW, I said, this is a really cool game. It's going to last 1 year for me if they don't, because I knew it was going to take me that long. It took me actually 6 months. And I don't raid. I'm not a big raider. I don't have that kind of time. The way I play games is I log on. And this is funny because I wrote a lot of books with my monk Feigned in EverQuest. Because what I would do is I'd log them on and I'd play, get my tail kicked down to about that much health, and I'd feign. And if you remember EverQuest, I could then shut the screen off for about 20 minutes and start writing before I get my health back. WoW considerably slowed my production as a writer. Because you'd sit down for 20 seconds, drink something, eat something, and you're ready to rock and roll. I played WoW for a while. Went back, played Ultima a little bit. I've tried a whole bunch of different ones. And we're back at EverQuest. And it's played EverQuest 2 when it came out, but we went back to EverQuest again. I have so much invested in those characters over there that it's like this pull. And so we bounce around. We bounce around. No PvP. Although I have to tell you, I learned a couple of tricks. Yeah. I was on the boat leaving the docks in the swamp. See, the places all kind of blend and merge. I was in WoW, and I was going over to the other world. And we got on the boat, and there was this guild going over there to do some raiding in Dire Maul or something. And there was one really obnoxious guy who was my priest's level who said, duel me, duel me. He started doing the chicken dance around me, and I'm like, I'm trying to talk to my friends. Leave me alone. No, duel me, duel me. He's afraid of me, he's afraid. He's shouting. He's afraid of me, he's afraid of me. I said, okay, I'll duel you. So the duel, boom, 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 boom. Put the shield up. The duel starts, mind control, jump off the boat. Just as the boat hits that little red line and shows up in the other world. And his guild mates are dying. And he's drowned back on the other world. Sorry to ruin you. Oh, man, that was worth it. No problem. But see, that's because I play on the PvE server. And the thing I've learned on the PvE servers is most of them suck worse than I do. I go to a PvP server, and I try playing, and this little hunter comes up to my guy and says, I'll duel you. It wasn't even a duel. This little hunter attacked me on a PvP server, but I thought I had the drop on him. And I'm watching my health bar go bloop, 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 bloop. Where is he? Where is he? And I'm dead. I suck. But on PvE, I'm somebody. Anyway, any other questions? Yes, right. The foundations of a good MMO are, to me, it has to have components for casual gaming. You got to be able to get the good get. World drops in Warcraft. You got to get the good get. You got to be able to get on in solo. You got to be able to log on and 20 minutes later have accomplished something. Okay? I know, what are you playing EverQuest for? Because you can do that now. It's harder, but you can do that. A good MMO will have content for solo, for group, and for raid. And I only say that because I have to add raid even though I don't do it. I had a very bad experience in a Dragon's Lair once, Nagafin. That was horrible. That was just horrible. We're all dead. Don't worry, we'll get your body back. It's 1 in the morning. My wife is screaming at me. Oh, no, this won't take long. It's... All right, so explain to me again why we sat there for 3 hours buffing people, having them log off and go to chat server, then log back on, just to die in 12 minutes. It won't take long. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. My wife is screaming at, we're almost there, we're almost there. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. My wife is sleeping, but she's not looking happy. Man, the clerics are in the zone. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's 5. I'm rezzed. Okay, we're going to start buffing again. Kiss my hairy dwarven ass. So you got to have good solo content. A good MMO will give you quests that you can complete fast and quests that lead you down this crazy road, like cooking souffles for Dwarf King Dane or some other stupid thing. A good MMO has to run smoothly. An MMO today, I think, really has to start looking at seamless zoning, obviously. The bar is continually being lifted. I think that sometimes people get too caught up on realism. A good MMO should have vivid colors. A good MMO should have good music. A good MMO should be a place you want to be, not the place you're at. And I was very blunt with some of the guys at Sony. I said, EQ2 has some of the best gameplay I've ever had, but I don't like looking at it. It's bland. Color, color, color. These are just my opinions, which are worth no more than your opinions, by the way. You guys know MMOs more than I do, so I don't know why you're asking me this question. But this is, to me, these are the things that make a good MMO. And, you know, I really feel for the writers who do these detailed quests, and then you go, click, 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 accept. Try to avoid the hours of script. Because people aren't there to read my book. They are there to write their own. Any other questions before you go play games? So you want to go play games or eat breakfast? Yes. Well, I think what Kurt brings to it is high profile, which makes a big difference in terms of getting advertising, getting people to come on board from an investment standpoint, things like that. I mean, Kurt gets on Good Morning America. He was on Good Morning America running an event for ALS Foundation in EverQuest 2 not too long ago. He also brings to the table some pretty good leadership skills. Kurt's a guy who predicated a significant portion of his contract on whether or not his team would win the World Series. Think about the guts somebody has to go to the Boston Red Sox and say, if we win the World Series, you have to give me all this money. Boston Red Sox, World Series, Billy Buckner, Bucky Dent. How much of this pain do I have to dish out before you get it? That's guts, man. He's got guts. He's also doing it for all the right reasons. He doesn't need the money. He is a 4-star Major League Baseball pitcher. I've seen his house. He doesn't need the money. It's not about that. He has a passion for gaming like yours. He games all the time. He loves gaming. He knows every game. He plays every game. He loves every game. But what he brings to the table is visibility and contacts, business contacts. What Todd brings to the game is he's a heck of an artist. And he's got a studio of 200 people. And he knows comics. And he's got vision, visual vision. What I bring to the table, more than anything else, in addition to, I think I'm a pretty creative guy, is an understanding of the organization of telling a story and the understanding of laying the foundation for telling a story. But you know what? I can't program my cell phone. So what's going to make or sink Green Monster Games isn't going to be a story by Bob Salvatore. And it's not going to be art by Todd McFarlane, one way or the other. It's going to be the game people we bring in, the designers that we bring in, the studio lead, the artists, the music composers, the game designers that are going to put our zones together. My job is going to be helping them all work together to create a platform that's consistent, believable, and fun. Other than that, we're another game company that's going out there and trying to convince you you'll have fun playing our games. And, you know, we'll be developing the game and we'll be playing the other games. And these guys play the other games. And the other companies play their games. It's fun. So, hopefully, we'll get the right people in there to create a game that's worth playing. Yes. Yeah, I've done a really good job surviving in the Forgotten Realms by staying away from everybody else. When I wrote the Crystal Shard, I was trying to place it in the world before I started writing it. And I said, okay, I'll put it here. And they said, we can't put it there. That's the Moonshay Isles. Doug Niles is doing more books there. You can't put it there. I said, okay, I'll put it over here. No, you can't do that. That's Cormyr. That's the Heart of the Realms. That's where Ed Greenwood's working, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I love this place, Vasa and Damara. No, you can't put it there. Doug Niles doing modules there. We've got other authors that we think are going to be writing books there, blah, blah. It went on for like 2 weeks, and finally I said, okay. You see up in the top corner of the map, you've got these mountains called the Spine of the World, and there's a little strip above them, looks like a typo, just a little strip of clear ground above them. They said, yeah. I said, that's Icewind Dale. Leave me alone. And then, when I was writing The Halfling's Gem, I had planned to end that book. For those of you that have read it, for those of you who haven't, I had planned to end that book with them going back to Mithril Hall to fight, to knock the Grey Dwarves out of there, organize an army. The fourth book in the series was supposed to be the retaking of Mithril Hall. But TSR said to me, oh, now this is 1989, 1990, okay? TSR said to me, you know, we think everyone's had about enough of these guys. Let's go do something else. Okay, so you have to finish it up in the epilogue. So the epilogue of The Halfling's Gem basically talks about how the dwarves take back Mithril Hall. Well, somewhere between the writing of that book and the publishing of that book, they got enough letters that they came to the conclusion, we really need to know where this dark elf came from. You know, we are getting reams of letters about this dark elf character. And we want you, you know, obviously, to go back and tell us in the next books where drizzt came from. And so I had the Fiend Folio entrance on Dark Elves. I had those wonderful old Gygax modules, Descent to the Depths of the Earth, Vault of the Drow, Queen of the Demon Web Pits. That was it. That's all I had. That's all that was published on Dark Elves at that time. And I said, okay, I've got X, Y, and Z. You know, give me the rest of the alphabet. And they said, no, that's it. That's all we've got. I went, okay, what are you asking me to do here? And they said, we're asking you to create Dark Elves in the Forgotten Realms. Now, when drizzt came into being, he wasn't in the original. This is true. Drizzt was not in the original outline for the Crystal Shard, which was called the Tyrant of Icewind Dale initially. He wasn't in it. I thought that the Moonshay Isles were the Forgotten Realms, because all I had was that one book. I didn't realize you get the Moonshay Isles and then you get the Forgotten Realms. I thought this was the Forgotten Realms. Very small place. So I thought that TSR was doing Dragonlance 2, basically, where they were going to move characters along. But I didn't want to use Doug's characters. So as a compromise, I was going to use one of Doug's characters to introduce the hero of my book, Wolfgar. And then get him out of the way and let Wolfgar take over the book. Well, they said, no, 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 no. We don't want you on the Moonshade Isles. The Moonshade Isles are for Doug. And I said, you want me in the water? I mean, oh, didn't we send you Ed's original maps? This box of 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper with copy lines all over them, not numbered, shows up. No key, no numbering system. Some of them have like one straight line. The ultimate crossword puzzle. I mean, the ultimate puzzle. Ed Greenwood's original maps. So we found out how big the realms are. We finally figured out where we're going to set the book. And then Mary Kirchhoff calls me up one day. I'm at work doing month end, so I'm paper stacked all around me at the desk, and she says, we got a problem. You can't use Dareth to introduce Wolfgar. I said, well, yeah, I know. She said, well, he's 3,000 miles away now. You can't use him. And I said, I don't want to use him. She said, yeah, but I've got to go to a marketing meeting to sell the book, and I've got your sample chapter, and I've got your outline, and I need a sidekick for Wolfgar. All right, give me a week. I'll come up with someone for you. She said, no, I have to go to a marketing meeting. You don't understand. I've got to go sell your book. I need a sidekick for Wolfgar. So I looked at my clock. It was like 11:30. I said, I'm going to lunch in a half hour. I'll work over lunch for you. I'll call you this afternoon and give you a sidekick. She said, you don't understand. I'm looking at the door where they're all looking out at me. And they're getting mad. And I need a sidekick for Wolfgar. Another one of those magic moments. I said, a black elf. They were called black elves down. Long pause. She says, a drow. I said, yeah, a drow. A drow ranger. That'll be cool. No one's done that before. And she says, there's probably a reason, Bob. I said, no, it'll be cool. A drow ranger. Yeah, a drow ranger. And she says, thinks about it for a minute. She says, all right, since it's just a sidekick for Wolfgar, we'll let you get away with that. What's his name? Top of my head, I said, Drizzt the Warden of Dermot Neshezbern on the 9th house of Menzoberranzan. Long pause. She says, can you spell that? I said, no. She says, what's Menzoberranzan? I said, I don't know. What's Dermot Neshezbern? I don't know. And that's how he came about. So now I've got to actually go explain it in a book, and I haven't got a clue. I've got the Fiend Folio entry, and I've got these old modules, and they say things like tentacle whips and bad monsters. And so, and this is true, I got out I was thinking, what society would resemble a type of makeup where you have feuding houses and murder is a way of life and all this other thing? So I went and got my copy of Mario Puzo's The Godfather. Hey, I'm an Italian kid from Massachusetts. What do you expect? And that became my inspiration for Menzoberranzan. And I created Menzoberranzan. Standing on the shoulders of Gary Gygax and Ed Greenwood and Dave Arneson and all the people who came before doing all this magnificent work. Hoping to take it a little bit further. And that was a long time ago. And it's funny because I often think of that Mary Kirchhoff conversation. A drow ranger, you know? Yeah, a drow ranger. I'm thinking 2 scimitars. Scimitars because they're, get that nice action. I want to choreograph Jackie Chan movies. And I was thinking of that just about a year ago, because some kid comes up to me at a convention, and he looks at me and he goes, oh, a good dark elf with 2 scimitars and a pet panther. How cliche. And I said, hey, thank you. He didn't get it, but that's okay. So a couple of years ago, before WoW comes out, I'm looking at the Blizzard website because I got a lot of friends over there, and they telling me they got this great game, and I love the old Warcraft games. This promo for WoW, and there's this female night elf with scimitars standing there in this, emo pose, and there's this huge Black Panther wrapped around her legs. And I called Paul Sams over at Blizzard, and I said, Paul, how come Drizzt is in your promotion? Who's Drizzt? Ha. Interesting. And that's weird, huh? Isn't that weird? Any other questions? One more question. Who's got the last great, magnificent, wonderful question? Any movie offers? Anyone got a better question? I am dying. I want it to happen so bad. I think my books really would fit a movie format well because they're fast, they're furious, they're visual. I don't belabor the point. Get into it, get done with it, go kill something, right? That's how I like to read the books. That's how I like to write the books. I think it will work in the movie. The problem is I don't have the rights to the Dark Elf books. They're work for hire. Hasbro owns them. Hasbro's a merchandising company. If a movie deal is going to happen, it's going to happen with Hasbro. They've been working on it. We've come close. Vin Diesel wanted to do a half-drow son of Drizzt thing. I said no. Drizzt doesn't have a son. You're welcome. Hey, I got 3 kids in college. I got to protect this a little longer, okay? No, seriously. I want it to happen, and I think it will. And we just had an announcement, actually. You know how they're doing – have any of you seen the Dark Elf graphic novels that they're doing? Devil's Due is doing the Dark Elf. They started with Homeland, and they're doing these graphic novels. If you haven't seen them, check them out. They're amazing. Beautiful work. And I just sold my Demon Wars series, which is my Forgotten Realms, my pride and joy. Someone's got the Highwayman. God bless you. There you go. I love Demon Wars. And I just sold my Demon Wars series to Devil's Due for graphic novels. But they also bought the options for television and movies. Fingers are crossed. That doesn't mean anything. I got to keep my feet on the ground here. 1 billion things get optioned, 1 gets made. That's the way it is. But we're moving on that front. We're moving on that front. And who knows? Maybe Green Monster Games will move us there a little faster, right? Maybe we'll. Audiobooks, yes. The Road of the Patriarch, which is coming out in October, the end of October. The last book of the Sellswords, the bad guys, Artemis and Jarlaxle. I love those guys. I always hate when I get fan mail for Artemis, though. I get fan letters for Artemis Entreri, this ruthless son of a who kills people for the hell of it. And people write to me and say, oh, man, I love Artemis. He's not really evil. He's just misunderstood. And the first thing I do is check the envelope and make sure that came through the publisher because I don't want this person knowing where I live. But The Road of the Patriarch will be coming out abridged and unabridged. 2 different audios for The Road of the Patriarch. And the word is they're going to go back and put all the Dark Elf books finally on audio, which makes me really happy. But listen, we got too much gaming to play to be standing here listening to me drone on. Thank you so much for having me here. I love you all, man. Bob, thank you very much. Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Salvatore. Big round of applause.